Welcome back into Solar Expanse Builders. We're continuing our playthrough here. I let the game play through just a little bit because basically we were waiting for some launch windows and we were waiting for some tech, and here is our tech. We have the, I believe this is the Ares, which we needed for our next piece of our contract for humans on Mars. This is an electric engine, and we're not great with that. If we were the Europeans, we would be a lot better with this, have a lot better start for it. I think I'm going to build one for the time being, just to appease this, and we'll consider if maybe we want more, or maybe we'll just keep one in service. I'm not 100% certain on that. To that end, I'm going to need to go up to Earth orbit. These have 2 weeks of engines to be able to launch themselves, even if I did build them somewhere with lower gravity. So we are going to need to build that in our orbital factory. So we need 100 tons of alloys, 40 rares, 25 electronics. Okay, I have the electronics, I have the rares, 10 tons of fissiles. It looks like I was prepping for that mission. Looks like we're actually pretty good here. So go ahead and throw that into the queue. Also, when I restarted this time around, we got our selene that disappeared back. So I think that must have been just a UI bug that we were having. So I may actually just set that up right now that I think about it. We have some noble gases up here at least. Yeah, I don't actually hate that. Let's set that up. So I want to head a probe to Leticia and see what we can see there. So if we were to send, right, we couldn't send an iris, so we needed the selene. And I want to add our probe. We have 6 tons left. Honestly, I'll go ahead and take a power generator out there. I know that we're going out there for 100% fact, so we'll take a ton of supplies, I guess. Assuming that we can make this work. All right, if we went for optimal, total propellant needed is 9.3. Yeah, there's no coming back. Yeah, so we will take the shorter mission. There is a chance that we will be able to get out there and bring some extra fuel to bring this home later on. So I think I'm okay with that. And heck, I figured we were gonna have to send this out with just a probe. So the fact that we can do that a little bit earlier, a while before that launch happens, but nice to have that planned. I do have 3 Stratios up here in Earth orbit. We have a couple things we'd like to accomplish. This is one of them. We need to get out to this asteroid. It's got metal, it's got rares, which we don't really have great source of. It does have some silicon, and it's got water, importantly. So when we come out here, we'd like to go ahead and bring them some carbon, and then they can just produce some food locally. I do think I'm going to try to do this. My launch window is in 2028, and I have 3 Stratos. So let's see about making some stuff. I do have... No, I don't. I need to make some mobile habitats. Go ahead and queue me up 2 of those. I thought I had built some. Maybe I had built some extra habitats. 2 mobile habitats. So that's going to be 40 people. So 40 people... I'm not even sure we're going to be able to get that many out there, frankly. Maybe that's what we'll use our Ares for, is helping to move people around. So... let's see, 8. We're gonna need 8 crew compartments to get 40 out there, so we're good there. I just sent power, so we're good there. I could send mobile mining, and I think we're gonna have to do that. The alternative would be we'd try to send metal, and we would need 150 metal to build a metal mine, and then we'd build off of that. I don't foresee that happening, but I think this is gonna be the route. To that end, let me go buy some electronics so we're just not getting spammed by that. I am noticing the global electronics are getting rather low. Yet again, another resource that we're just not producing enough of. All right, give me 10 mining modules. Yeah, that's just gonna have to be what it is. Now, metal plus rares means I can build a fuel factory in situ, so that'll be really nice, actually. Okay, we'll let that go. 3 constructors. I'm almost tempted to build another one, but I guess we'll let that run. I did queue up a few other things. On Luna here, I went and I think I added another mine or two. Basically, we are almost out of metal on the moon. That's going to be used up pretty quickly. And actually, the water is coming down pretty quick, too, from that mining. So we definitely got the first advantage for getting there. The only contract I've been offered, unfortunately, was for some rares on Mars, but I need the rares on Mars for other things. Our food supply did make it there, by the way. So what would I like to do here? I need some alloys so that we can build some more glass factories. I think that's what's coming here. We head over to Mars. On Mars, we are building... Do I only have a single construction bot here? You know what? Give me one more. Yeah, let's get him built first. That way we can speed this up a little bit. I am building several more fuel refineries with the hope that we can send some of these Stratos home, or even if we just sent them into orbit so they could actually be used for something, would be rather nice. And then I queued up 2 more alloy smelters, so we'll have some local alloys here. Phobos, we have our little colony, and for both Mars and Phobos now, at least while the carbon lasts, we are sufficient on supplies. So quite good there. Now I have a big stockpile. We're not going to have the same problem we had. Hopefully with Phobos mining up this carbon, we'll be able to make use of that and be self-sufficient. Here, yeah, we got our farm up. It's not being ran because we don't have water here. We could go get some water from Deimos. And I do have a full load worth. It's so hard, right? I wish one of these 2 moons had both water and carbon. I think what I'm going to do is each one's going to get a farm, and then we'll just shuffle water to one and carbon to the other, and they can both just grow locally. And then every once in a while, we'll siphon off supplies, take them probably over to Mars orbit, and then we can dole them out from there. Here, this is just automated stuff. I did plan on having a mission bring some people here, but I think that may be delayed for the Leticia launch. I think that will probably be the case. So that's going to be kind of our next big one. And then basically just waiting on techs. Mars also has what it needs for a research lab. The thing it's missing is 100 alloys. So we're waiting on that. Hopefully we will get that relatively soon. Let's go ahead and go to Earth. Let's go to Earth orbit. And just out of curiosity, from here to Leticia, and we would send this on a Stratos. I just want to measure more than anything else. Give me, what will you select? 150 tons. I just want to see what the window looks like. All right, so an optimal window, 2.32 fuel is not happening. It's a year out. That is not good. Okay, maybe this isn't going to happen then, because I just cannot get out there. All right, what if we changed our plans a little bit? Could I start sending our solar sails that direction? Add 40 tons of... I don't really care what. I just want to see, what does this look like? No. Apparently we could definitely do it. So start date, so about a year trip during the optimal window. That's not the most miserable thing ever. All right, but I don't want that mission. No, not you. It says that you can change the order that these build. I don't know if that's the case. Oh, there it goes. I guess it's the picture specifically. All right, that's fine. Let's get that built. That way I can see what my next goal is. I have a feeling we're approaching a get 1,000 people to Mars. To that end, after the Hermes, I'm going to do colony construction. This allows us to build the underground habitat, and it's just way cheaper. 20 metal and 20 food, just infinitely cheaper to be building that. So it's going to take me a little bit, but you know, we got nothing if not time. Okay, well, that's a little unfortunate. I really was wanting to head out that way, but we are at kind of the end of the usefulness of our chemical rockets. We could go slightly further if we wanted to keep going down that tech, but at this point, it's not cheap efficiency gains, it's expensive efficiency gains, and I'm not certain that that gets us that much, unfortunately. Very unfortunately. So I think we are going to be looking for that next Martian window. So if we look at Mars, I can currently house 135 more people from Earth proper. The reason I like launching the people from Earth is I don't have to fiddle with a weird transfer with live people. So I do know that it is more efficient to do it from orbit, and that's what we're mostly going to do for most of the stuff. We'll throw it up into orbit via a Falcon or an Eagle, and we'll catch it up there. But for the people specifically, I'm okay with doing it from down here. Let's go ahead and plan a mission. Earth to Mars on a Stratos. And I just want this to be as many people as I can. And we know from the past, I need to leave one spot because we don't have enough life support. So I need to send them a little bit of supplies. And that would be on an Eagle. And really, I would prefer fastest. 2.8 kilotons. 3.2 kilotons. 7-month trip versus a 10-month trip. You know what? The 10-month trip isn't that different, and we are having enough of a fuel problem. Oh, I'm not even allowed to do that. Was I allowed to send the fastest? I'm not allowed to do that one either. Require supplies. Oh, I know. We don't have enough supplies for down here because I stuffed them all into the ship. I might even build some more supply buildings here on the planet. Give me 10 more for now. They're pretty cheap. Apparently that is not enough. I wish this slider would tell me would tell me what we're doing there. So is it telling me that we don't have enough back here? And we need to go 10 more here? I don't remember us needing to send 20. I thought it was 10. It does seem to like that. 7 months, 60 days, or 10 months. We will take the more optimal one. Okay, so the launch is in October, so we have a while, but that's okay. Let's just queue that up. They're not going to do anything different. All right, we have a launch window coming up. What else do I want to fling into orbit to bring over here? Alloys, well, you know what? No, we're going to locally produce those alloys, as painful as it might be. So some rares. Our glass isn't really ready. We could send some polymers. I don't think we need to. So really, it's going to be some rares and some electronics and just a bunch of people. So let me think. 13 compartments is 50. That's 65. Maybe we just do another set of people. Yeah, I think I might do that. Okay, so to do that, I am going to need some more compartments. So let's go ahead and get those queued up. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting the next tech from there either, but unfortunately, we just have so many things to research. I don't know when that's going to have time to happen. And then I can just already tell you that because of the supply problem we had last time, give me, heck, let's just buy out the world supplies. And let's also go ahead and drop ourselves another farm, I think. I've had to buy way too many supplies recently. New offer on Earth to sell a bunch of supplies. Yeah, but I need them. That's the thing. I need those supplies. Are getting a lot of mining things ready. They could just sit here on Earth for now until I'm ready to do something with them. Yeah, these crew compartments won't take me very long. We got plenty of time until our window hits here. So we'll just let that continue. Yeah, I will say, I think this game has some pretty good bones on it, but I definitely think we need a lot more meat. I don't think there's enough differences between the starts. I feel like they need something to make them a little bit more unique for each playthrough. I guess while we're talking about that, we can look at this. So in here, the plan is we're going to grab those colonies just because they're so much cheaper and it wasn't too expensive. I am going to grab a research speed tech. This was below 900 days, and I believe it's a 4% bonus and a 25% cost savings on research labs. I would like to try to get a research lab on both of the moons at Mars, so reducing those costs would be kind of nice. And then we are heading to nuclear stuff because I need some better engines, and nuclear / the fission route are the better engines for me. So I don't know, it's going to be a long road of research before we really get another vehicle. So that's going to be annoying. Oh, you know what? Did we, hold on, now that we're sending people, do we say forget that and we can do the Hermes? 87 days. We might be close enough within that window. We shall see. It's not hard for me to fling stuff up there, so just in case we are, I don't remember how many people that can have. Let's queue up to 30 crew compartments. I believe the Hermes actually has life support. I think that what that means is that we don't need to send as many supplies. Yeah, I'm not 100% certain on that. We shall see, I suppose. All right, those are coming along nicely. Mars, how you feeling? You're feeling rather slow. You are getting your 5th fuel refinery up. Our 5th and last for the time being. Yeah, that's fine. Hopefully we will get enough fuel here where we can send some of our rockets home. An alternative, I suppose, would be we could start taking them apart, and that would give me some stuff here, but at some point I'm going to want these to shuttle some things around. Humans on Mars. We have done it. We're the first people in history to establish a base on Mars. This day will impact the entire future of humankind. Life on Mars contract. Okay, a couple different ones. Martian industry. The factory is operational. With a steady supply of carbon from Phobos, we'll be able to produce as much as we need. The true Martian expansion starts now. Apparently, we had something that was just auto done. All right, so what do you want? You want an ice extractor on Mars. That's probably really doable. That sure is. All right, not something I was obviously prioritizing, but that doesn't hurt us in the slightest. Especially with those more people on the way. That'll be that. Probing Lutetia, we have activate layer asteroids. And they want me to deliver, yeah, okay, so they want me to deliver rare metals from there to Earth directly. That's rather dumb, but sure, we could do that. And you know what? We can solar sail out to Leticia. Maybe we'll use our solar sails. I kind of want to use them as just like slow drip logistics, but since I can't get out there right now, at least not easily, we could do that. And then they also want us to sell 200 alloys on Mars. Again, a pretty doable one, just needs some time to make that happen. Let's take a peek. If we go to lunar orbit, if we did want to actually do that, so we would go from here to Leticia with the Daedalus, and we could send out some mines and 10 of what? I guess we could just send some carbon. Get that started. Someday I'm gonna want manned things here. Can we do that? So starting to 2029. I don't know why I keep missing a screen there. I guess because I'm expecting the fuel screen. So that would take us a little over a year to get out there. That's not the worst thing ever, if I'm being honest. What else do we have in Earth orbit? Earth orbit. We do have 2 more mines. Okay, I think we're going to do the same thing. From here to there, on one of my solar sails, we'll give you the 2 other mines, and we'll give you some carbon. Yeah, I am clicking. I guess I'm expecting to see the fuel thing here, and I don't, so I just auto-click for some reason. 1 year, 5 months, and 18 days. That'll get me 4 mines out there, and then one of them, I guess, could just come straight back, and the other waits and picks up some of those rares, I suppose, to get that done. We could continue to send auto mines out there. I don't know if that juice is worth the squeeze. Maybe if we just don't have anything else to do with our Daedalus, we can ship out materials to build the base out there. So we would want constructor. We would want to build. I don't know. Am I allowed to build a habitat here? Gravity is too low. So we could build outpost. We cannot build habitat. That's kind of painful. I won't lie. These only hold, I think, 10 people each. But I guess we send supply. Yeah, I'm going to need some supplies here. We get 1 outpost built, 10 people arrive, and then they use the carbon and the locally mined water, and then they can produce their own supplies. Okay. Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. So we go Earth orbit. What do I have up here? Yeah, this is exactly what I want to see. Okay, give me another run out there. And yeah, this stuff, I don't remember exactly. Maybe this is my plan. I just am not remembering, but apparently I was just really well prepared for this. All right, we'll send a construction module. I can't see, the thing is I can't move a mobile hab because they're 80 tons and I can only do 40 tons on my solar sails. So we'll do that. And we'll do 35 tons of supplies. I believe it is 20 to build the habitat. I wonder if I could solar sail people out there. It would be rough, but we could probably do it. I may try that. I may try that. So 2 things would be 20, and then I would want an additional 20 things of food for that. And I do have it up here. Okay. Okay. Do I have other things to launch into orbit? What did I say I needed? I need some more alloys up there? Probably. Some metal, some more polymer up there would be nice. All right, we have enough stuff. I think I can make an Eagle launch worth my time. Do we have all those mines? We do have all those mines too. I think I'm gonna want more. Yeah, give me another 10. Another 10 mining modules, please. Yeah, let's plan a mission. We are gonna go from Earth to Earth orbit with a payload container. And we are gonna take 10. Again, man, I really wish we just had a button to where I could type. We're gonna send the 10 mining modules. Let's get those mobile habs into orbit. Is there anything else here that is not supposed to be here? No, I think that is it. All right, and then I want to send 2 of these, and if these don't work, we'll just send them right back down. So that would be 1 set of outposts who can hold 10 people. We can do that. What else would I want to send? Okay, they're going to need some more carbon up there at some point. I don't want to send that much. Let's send 200 more into orbit. They're going to need some rares. Let's say like 100. Actually, no, let's not do polymers. I can easily stuff ourselves full of that if I wanted to. I am going to need tin glass. Yeah, I'm putting way more stuff up than we're going to use currently, but I'm just getting things up there since we're doing a launch. We're going to want some alloys. I got to be a little bit careful here. 200 takes me over 160. All right, and that's on an Eagle. Go. All right, let's let that launch happen, and let's see if we can solar cell people over there. I don't know if you're allowed to do that or not. Okay, we're in orbit. Grab Earth's orbit. And I would like a mission to Leticia. And we're going to use a Daedalus. Okay, that already tells me no. I have people up here, but they're apparently not allowed to use that. Okay, that's annoying. Let's actually check a different mission then. From here to Mars on the Hermes. Incapable of landing. How worried am I about that? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, and you can fit 300. Okay, so that would, in theory, be 30 crew modules. And I'm probably going to need some more supplies up here. So 28 more modules up here. Did I already miss my window? We're not terrible, but I need to get on with it if I'm going to do it. Okay, so... Oh, look at that. It's like I knew what I was doing or something. Crazy. Okay, let's launch another payload. All the people. Man, yeah, this is definitely an area that needs some quality of life, that's for sure. Okay, all of those. I'm gonna send some more food up there. Let's do like 50 more tons. Actually, no, let's do more than that. Let's do 100 tons. I have a bunch that I can launch here, so I guess we'll send the electronics up. We'll send 355 polymers on an Eagle. Okay. All right, not exactly what I was planning on doing, but I guess this works. I probably also need to double check that Mars... Okay, so 30 capsules, 10 of them would be 50. That's 150 more people. We don't quite have enough hab space for that. I'm not going to wait for that to happen. So let's hit in here and get another... Right there. All right, just to try to get that up and running before they would arrive. Okay, and then give me Earth orbit. Okay, here we come. There we are. 30 up here. All right, let's schedule from Earth to Mars. And we want the Hermes. And let's be really sad that, again, I have to do a bunch of manual clicks here. Okay, these are now showing no people. I wonder why that is. Did I not have enough people on Earth when I was planning this mission? No, I did. Also, just before I forget, I probably should hire some more people. Because that could get rather awkward. There we go. just so I don't forget that. Okay, so 230 out of 300, and then I need the orbit. Okay, sending things over there. I mean, there's several things here I would like. Some extra rares would be really nice. I don't think we're at really nice yet. Well, all right, let's see. 70 rares, no launch vehicle. Okay, needs more supplies. That's kind of what I thought was going to happen. All right, we'll just do it this way. 70. I wish it would give me the number right here. It says you need blank amount of supplies to do this. And we need 299 propellant, so we're not coming home. If we went optimal, 299. If we went fastest, it's literally a day of difference. All right, well, you know what? We're going to fly economy. So that is going to be less than a year of mission. We have supplies for like 3 years. So we're going to be taking extra supplies over there. That doesn't hurt anything, even though it's kind of a waste. That is kind of a waste. Maybe let's cut back on that. Again, I wish I had a number here. Can I get away with 30? And then that would allow me to take some, let's say we did, oh, I don't know, 20 rares and 20 electronics. 587 days. So I could still go lower on that by another chunk. Let's take that down to 20, and we'll up that one to 30. Okay, that seems much more reasonable. I don't think I want to fiddle. Well, can I just knock another 10 off? My last fiddle here. 10 there, and then let's do... These are fuel refineries. The more rares I bring. Yeah, that's fine. Almost a full year, 2 months less than a full year. We'll zoom it. No major difference. Actually, there is one major difference. The optimal one, we actually leave later by 10 days. Okay. Flight time's basically the exact same almost. Okay, whatever. We'll go fastest. We'll reclaim our day. Okay, I'm not too sad about that. We're gonna get a bunch of people. Remember, I do have another flight scheduled too. So much so, in fact, let's not oopsie this. Let's queue up another hab. Just to have extra space. Yeah, I'm not gonna wait on that. We'll get both of those building. How close are you? Yeah, you're really close to being done with the alloy smelter. Now double our alloys. Hooray. Okay, so at Earth orbit, what do I got left? I got 3 Stratos left. I only have 2K fuel, so we could send some more stuff. I think let's do that. Let's go ahead and set up another to Mars. And actually, let's try to do this a little different strategy. Let's do a Mars orbit. Maybe I can do some of these without having to land, since these don't have people in them. Save myself the fuel and maybe be able to get my Stratos home. Both of these now are produced locally. I really do not want to be doing that. We could take them 10 more glass. I don't think I really want to do that. Honestly, I think we just take a big noble gas, or no, excuse me, not noble gas. A big rare metal. We got 30 space left. We'll take some extra glass and some extra electronics. And there's no people here. We're just going to go optimal. Go for it. All right. I don't have enough fuel now to be able to do that. So that's kind of done. Luna orbit has no ships. Neither one has ships. All right. Might be worth my time to go out there and get some of that fuel. Bring it back over. I mean, that is more than a full tank of fuel I could move. Yeah, okay, let's set that up. Maybe I'll cancel this later, but so let's do a planned mission from Earth orbit to Luna as a cyclical mission with a Stratos. From Earth to Luna, nothing. From Luna to Earth, I want you to bring fuel. You can't add resources from a different object. The one is not starting the mission on. Okay, well that's really annoying. So I guess I can plan a cyclical mission once we're there? All right, we'll find out. Are we deadheading this? What else could I take over there? I don't have much in orbit at the moment. Oh, okay, we could take some alloys. Yeah, because the alloys will let me get another glass factory up and running. And no extra propellant, just what you need. All right, he's off and running. All right, we are still sitting on a solar sail. Let's get that moving. We'll send that to Leticia with the Daedalus. 2 of those, plus some carbon. Go. I wish there was a clone mission. Maybe I just missed it and I need to go look through mission menus again. I wish you could save a mission profile, and I wish I could clone a mission profile. Whenever that thing is done building. Off you go. Okay, lots of stuff planned. Where are we at here? Earth, where are you? There you are. What we got for launches? Okay, we got a whole bunch of launches coming up. I do also wish I could click on one of these and have it focus the object to follow without the zoom in effect. I tend to have that happen a whole bunch. Oh, look, we're heading over to the moon with that one. We're back to the moon, boys. I love how whenever you get a Mars window, we just get this giant conga line. What are you guys bringing? 10 rares, so probably to make some fuel if I had to guess. A construction. And a construction. Oh, you guys are using solar sails. Okay. Not the worst plan, but even if you don't have the size upgrade, this is still a 20 ton. So one thing that the AI does not do in the slightest is optimize their payloads. I feel like that's a low-hanging fruit for the dev to kind of increase things there. All right, 240 alloys I don't believe is enough for another glass factory. I think it's 300. Yeah, it sure is. I'm not too concerned about that at the moment. All right, can I do this mission the other way? Starting at Lua, I want to go to Earth orbit on a Stratos. And I want you to take fuel. I want you to wait until your cargo is full. You don't need a launch vehicle. You don't need a launch vehicle. And I want you to never end. We'll come manually change this at some point, but for now, there we go. Let's just get that fuel over here. That's 4 trips just by itself. And it should end its career at Luna, waiting to get fueled up when it fills up again. And either way, if it gets stranded on either end of the trip, we should be fine because we have fuel at both ends. Yeah, that should be fine. We're observing Rhea. I mean, just out of curiosity. So after the belts, Jupiter would be our next stop. Okay. Amalthea looks very interesting. That would be water and carbon give us farms and fuel, although maybe not fuel, depending on what we're actually using by the time we can get out there. But we could also get fissiles, which means nuclear power to power my base. So that is really nice. And then we would need metal. Honestly, metal and silicon is glass and alloys. I mean, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Jupiter itself also has helium-3, hydrogen, nitrogen, and some water, and something else that we don't know. Send a probe. I thought I wasn't allowed to send probes where we can't survive. Interesting. And then beyond that, we have a bunch of Trojans back here, right? You're a comet. Yeah, that's looking kind of juicy. Yeah, anything that has water and carbon is like instantly interesting. Oh boy, look at those solar sail orbits. Oh, that's funny. But you know, it's free. They're a little expensive to make those solar sails, but once you do, they're just off and running. We'll work on that. Okay, we still have over a year left on that colony construction tech, unfortunately. Luna, have we finished the metal off? 6 months, and we will have all the metal. That's going to be kind of ouchy. I really don't want to be sending metal from Earth. Ironically enough, it would probably be cheaper for me to send it from Mars to here. Especially if we can get it off the Martian moon. I think we need more solar sails is kind of what I'm feeling at the moment. What do we have? 743 tons of polymers. I believe they're 120 each. Yeah, 120 and then also 20 metal. Let's launch what we have, however many sails worth. So from Earth to Earth orbit. Payload canister. All right, so what would that be? At 120 each, that'd be 600. 720 would be a multiplier of 120. So that's 5. 5 of them would be 600. 6 of them would be 720. So 6 times. So we need 120 metal. Oh, and that puts us a little bit over payload. No. Okay, then we'll do 5 of them and we'll up our metal a little bit. We may have other uses for metal like we just discussed. On an eagle, go. All right, by the way, what are we actually producing here? 0.04 per day. I feel like those numbers are just so pitiful. If you're not making at least like 1, like the alloys here, we're not even making 1 alloy a day. You only cost 10, but then again, it's not only 10 because we're also paying for some power, some metal, and some people. But that being said, I have 10 people, no, almost 100 people who are not doing anything. I'm kind of thinking that we might increase our alloy production here. Although this just really isn't the place I want it. I mean, polymer is going to basically be the same thing, although I guess it takes 20 people. So 5 more polymer production should be possible. Okay, what do we finish? Oh, we got the water mine. Exploiting Mars trapped water is the first step to our self-sufficient existence on the red planet. Now that you don't need to struggle to survive there, we will thrive. The time has come to colonize Mars. Now that we can provide our population and industry with everything they need, we should begin construction of habitats to house newcomers and future families. Deliver 100 people directly to Mars. Begins the start date 2100. So are you telling me that I'm almost 70 years ahead of schedule, according to the game? I mean, that is awesome, but that is also funny. I'm pretty sure we're getting at least that many on our Ares crew, so that mission is basically in the bag. Just need it to happen, basically. Okay, so here... Okay, let's finish my thought here. I want 5 more polymer plants. Yeah, you're $10 a day. Carbon, we have plenty of carbon. let's do that. 1, no, yes. 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I'll also need to do extra alloy smelting. I have a feeling. We'll let that ride for now, but we'll have a think on that. And just because I'm thinking about it, let's build a radioisotope generator. Not because I want to keep it here, but I'm going to want one at some point to ship out. Let's just build it now to make sure we don't have a brownout. And then next time we need one, we'll just have one ready to go. We also have mines here that could be launched. Okay, my Earth orbit shipyard. Did you receive your stuff? Yes. Okay, so Daedalus, can I get 10 of you? Whatever amount I could afford queued up. We'll let those build. I'm kind of thinking it might be time to expand the shipyards. Been something I did not do. I definitely think if I was to do this again, I would have doubled up or maybe even gone triple shipyards in the initial shipyard build. At that point in the game, I mean, it's extra ground launches, but in this game, we ended up, I think, launching 3 Stratos from the surface to Mars, whereas launching 3 of them from orbit to Mars would have been better. I don't know. I think it might be, it's very close on efficiency, I think. All right, what am I looking for here? I want the orbital shipyard. 150 alloys, 50 polymers, 20. Well. Well. That's what we get for actually just having things in orbit. I like it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. It's going to be a little slow. I only have 1 construction unit. That's fine. I'm not in a hurry. Where are my missions at? Okay, we are closing in. I'm really curious to see if I just happen to bumble into this one. Kind of nice if that's the case. Does that also mean that we've got all our habitats? 390, yeah. Almost 400 people. We're having some brownouts. I did not expect that. Okay, we do have the glass that we would need to build a solar array. Let's build one. Let's see how efficient it is or isn't. We're definitely going to need that power. A, we're already just browning out, and we're still building another factory. But B, I want to get this lab up. That's kind of important to me. Getting this lab up, and then getting some more people up to the 2 Martian moons for more labs. 20 people's not nothing, but once you have the life support, it doesn't really matter, like the supplies. They're not going anywhere, and we're not using any non-renewable power. So, yeah, that would be another pretty high-end goal. To that end, we would need some more rares, and we'd need some more glass. I'm hoping that we're done shipping glass from the surface, and we can just do it via Mars. When we get 150 glass, or via Luna, when we get 150 glass, I will ship that over to Earth. Also, 60 more alloys here, and we could build another glass factory. Yeah, again, I wish I could come in here and just edit that mission. Can I just do this? Yeah, see, I can't take the cyclical out of it. Okay, if I catch it next time, I'll cancel it. And then we'll take 1 more load of fuel back, and then we'll come over here and we'll pick up the glass, and we'll take it over to Earth. We'll do it that way. How we doing on everybody else? We are still a long ways out on those solar sails. Yeah, like 2 years out on those. That is fine. Okay, let's actually, for the first time, go speedy. More alloy smelting's done on Mars. Solar array done. Hey, we did it. We did it. All right, Potent didn't know it on that one. Finally, Mars is not just an outpost, but a proper settlement. We've managed to accommodate the entire community living far from Earth. We have made the impossible dream come true. Unlocks the start date colonization era 2100. So 70, let's call it 70 years ahead of schedule. Good job, team. With an early colony established, we need to look towards expanding our base of operations on Mars. Being self-sufficient is not enough for us. The colony needs to prosper, bring profits, and serve as an example for future establishments. Get 1,000 people. We're at 200 of the 1,000. That's not a terrible start. I mean, ideally, we would just have this Ares make round trips, right? Interesting. So we must have drop potted those down, basically. Okay. I mean, that's fine. So, Hermes, do you have the juice to get back home? That is the question. So we would want to go from here to Earth orbit, the Hermes, with nothing in it. Nothing. Yes, by one fuel we could make it home. And that's in about a year-ish. If we did fastest, we could actually leave relatively soon, and it uses basically the same fuel. Okay, we leave one noble gas here. I'm fine with that. All right, what do we still have in Earth orbit for? Okay, nothing. No, that's Earth itself. Earth orbit. All right, so I probably want to send up another 500-ish noble gas. Let's do that before I forget. Bye. You know what? Give me all the noble gas. Earth does not produce a lot, and it is basically impossible to get enough made by yourself on Earth. The deposit is 1/1000th, and each one of these I drop is $2,000. So yeah, not worth it. Getting Mars to mine some might be better. They have 50 kilotons. You know what? That is actually probably a good idea. Let's... Now we should have what? 123 people who are not otherwise working. I gotta watch out for the power problem. Yeah, look at this. We're only making 2.79 power here. If we look at our lunar one, now this is 3 of them, I believe, added together, but still 19.5. So I don't think that's worthwhile. If that's not worthwhile, what is? And I think the answer is, I think we want to make a nuclear power plant. We are going to get one, but it's going to be a while in the research. We're going to finish the outposts. We're going to get a research buff, and then we're going to do that. So quite a bit more research needed there. Hence why we need to get that lab up and running. That would cut down some of that time. Where are we at on that project? Actually could happen. I'm willing to brown us out. We could even turn things off if I have to. Because this is going to be a 3rd lab, so I don't know exactly how these stack, but a 50% increase in labs. So maybe that'd be a 50% increase. Although I think it said diminishing returns once you have more labs. But yeah, these times for research are just so long. So long. Yeah, I think I would really like to get those on our orbiters here. So Phobos, I would basically need a 2nd mobile habitat just for the people who are going to be in there. We have the power. You guys actually have enough metal too. I can build one more building here. All right, let's go ahead and let's drop a carbon mine. We don't need to have any kind of oopsies here. I do have Stratos. 453. Can we... From Mars to Earth orbit. Astrados. Oh, we totally can. All right, give me the optimal. Actually, just out of curiosity, if we gave you all the fuel and did fastest, the 31st. No. All right, not that big a difference. So if we went optimal, we could go as low as 144. Deal. We have so many stratos here. I'd like to get them out of here. So the ones that can, let's get them back. I'm going to try to avoid coming down the surface. It looks like our Ares was able to drop our pods down. Maybe I'm able to do that normally. I never tried because I just assumed that we couldn't, but I guess the crew compartments make sense that you can take them down. Speaking of which, we also don't need 40 of them sitting here. Yeah. We don't need 40 of those sitting there. Let's take apart 35 of them. We'll keep 5 just in case I want to shuttle some people around or something. Power problems. Big power problems. All right, you. Let's turn one of you off and see if that makes the difference. It sure does. All right, we'll just do that. I did not calculate my power properly. I didn't realize there was going to be that big a drop off for solar, which makes sense. Solar is not incredibly good, even just out at Mars. You're just too far away already. So if we want to use solar, it basically needs to be Earth and closer. Hence why I didn't try to get any solar or anything up at Leticia, because it just isn't going to matter. And let's actually get this. Let's get this moving. Orbital shipyard complete. We found some noble gases out somewhere. Another Daedalus. Carbon mine. A little over 100 days left on that colony tech. I don't know if that was going to be worthwhile. My thought was, assuming I can build those on Mars, which I don't see why I wouldn't be able to, they're just so much cheaper than the other ones, metal-wise. And, you know, metal feels like it's not a big problem until it is. Like, there's only 15.5 more kilotons here. That is not unlimited amounts. And then we go down to a 0.08, which is, I mean, almost a magnitude rarer than what we're currently getting. And there's quite a bit of that, but slow, very slow. Okay, we did get that tech. Out of curiosity, we can build that, right? No. Radiation too low. Huh. Why would I refuse to build underground just because it's not radioactive if this is so much more efficient? Because this houses 100 people, the same as a normal hab, but costs way less. I feel like that's not how that should work. Or that needs to be flagged a lot differently. Does that mean I could build that on, like, Venus or Mercury? Is that what you're telling me? Atmospheric pressure too high. Mercury? You need a construction module. Okay, so Mercury is indicating that we could build underground habitats. That's interesting enough to me. Can we get a mission over there to take a peek at that? I thought I wasn't going to be able to land on Mercury, but maybe that was just me making bad assumptions. I need a probe up here. Okay. Earth. Probably is worth just flinging a few up into space at the same time. Just give me... well... Give me a couple. 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? Give me another generator too while we're at it. There's something to be said about maybe having orbital construction over at Mars. 50 tons. Honestly, this is easier to build at Mars, so we'll hold off on that. Okay. Yeah. And keep doing that. Yeah, nanoprocessors. We must have finished our research on Mars. And we're vaguely powering it. Because this should have been 800 and something days. And I feel like it has not been 800 and something days. Nuclear power, 257. Yeah, 857 days for the microprocessors. But a 4% increase in general is not terrible. So 1,000 days, you would get to knock 40 days off of it. I believe this is one of the ESA's bonuses, is their extra research. One of the few that is kind of sort of rare because you can't make up lost time. I don't know. It's all right if this is what they're getting. The starting research building is kind of whatever, because one of the first things I did when we started was just build a research lab. But okay, that gets us nuclear power, and then we get these kind of support techs, high temperature superconductors and superconducting magnets. And with all those, I think we could start heading for fusion. Fusion propulsion is all the way over here. That may be a bridge too far. Maybe we need to swerve. I hate to do that though. Maybe we need to swerve into electrics? I'm not certain here. I feel like you end up just needing everything. Like the Athena is an electrical drive. I'd like to not do electrical drives if I'm going for other things, but the Athena is rather nice. 500 cargo capacity, decent exhaust velocity. Yeah, slow but efficient travel. I mean, that's fine. If we go this way, the Nike is our first fusion one, but it needs fusion propulsion. So this is not low on the tech tree like this looks, because it really should be like over here, because we need to get multiple fusion techs before we get fusion propulsion. The Prometheus with nuclear propulsion we could get 800 cargo capacity, 1K of propellant, exhaust velocity of 10 kilometers per second. Just out of curiosity. Okay, so that would be more than double what we're currently running there. And it would be half of a Hermes. I keep calling those Ares. Hermes, half of a Hermes. Maybe we just need to go that route. Liquid core is not that much deeper. So we could get up to the Hephaestus. And you would be 1.5. Okay, you are 50% faster than the Hermes. Maybe Hephaestus is in our near future. Maybe we don't go that route. If we click this and... Okay, 9 previous techs? Okay, I stand possibly corrected. Okay, so that's the liquid core, nuclear propulsion, molten. Now, do note that these are going to increase their efficiency, let's call it. So they'll actually be better than the stats we were looking at. Maybe that's the route we need to take, because we are kind of at the edge of what our chemical rockets can do. We could go ever so slightly further. So we could go up to solid hydrogen, and we could go up to polynitrogen fuel, but 4,000 days and 2,000 days, and I don't know. That's gonna maybe make it viable out to the belts, but that's, again, not gonna be that much more. Would unlock the Condor, and the Condor, this is a launch craft. Launch cost is 7.2 kilotons of fuel, and it gets me an 8 kiloton payload. So pretty beefy. I will definitely give it that. Pretty beefy. But if you could fling this much capacity into space, what are you going to do with it? Because I would just run it around on 150 Stratoses. Doesn't seem like a good plan to me. Doesn't seem like a good plan. Also, apparently I have not favorited Leticia. Oh, did they arrive and I didn't notice? They did. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, so we are here with the 5 of them. Okay, so we need to deliver 5 from Leticia directly to Earth. Now that's actually a little bit of a problem because I can't do that with my Daedalus. And when they say directly, they do mean directly if the moon missions or anything to go by. Is there any chance my Selene has enough oomph to make it back to Earth with 5 tons and heck, I would take the probe if I could. No, not in the slightest. I could if we brought 5 tons of noble gas out here. Okay, I think that's going to be a problem for next time though, because we are already over time again. So again, just to reiterate, I think this is a pretty good start. I'm concerned we don't have enough UI. There needs to be something where I can pin or something. I could show maybe the resources like here, like, oh, there's metal and water, like what I have locally. Make that really super customizable, or we need an outlier or something. Yeah, I definitely worry about that UI as things get more and more complex. My only thought of how to counter that is automation, where you don't really need to know how much you have of something other than the end point, and what you need to keep track of is how much throughput you have. Because remember, like, if we're using solar sails to move stuff around, we're talking like years in advance that they need to be sending things. So yeah, I'm a little worried about that. What I'm most excited for is random solar systems, because again, in our solar system, your playthroughs are going to be very, very, very similar. A little bit of early game tech difference, and then you're going to end up in the same place, it seems. Unless maybe we expand the tech tree more. But as it is, like, I'm at the end of chemical rockets. What do I need to do? I have a little choice between maybe I could do some electronics, but that seems pretty short term too. So I really just need to decide between nuclear or fusion. And that's where I'm going. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I would like to see some more patches for a relatively liked, non-crippled early access. We haven't really got a lot of updates. So I'm hoping that maybe this dev's going for the more slow but chunkier update style. We shall see. If you're enjoying this one, don't forget to leave a like on the video. If you're not subscribed, I hope I've earned your subscription. I'd love to have you back. And as always, if you want to support the channel, always leave a super thanks. Join me live for a super chat. Check out the memberships or the Patreon. All right, builders, I'll catch you in space. Babel out.